How's it going, everyone? Congrats on this latest movie of yours.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Will.
Yeah, this movie was great. I actually grew up in the Jersey area, so sort of brought me back. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Kevin Smith, I mean, I'm a huge fan of his. And I was curious, whoever wants to start. It seems like it's a pretty personal movie for him. And I was curious, when you guys were working with him on this movie, did he do anything special to sort of get you guys in the headspace of this environment, in this period of time? Like, did he show you like photo albums or show you any important landmarks in the area or anything like that? Uh, we could start with you, Austin, if you want.
Yeah, me and him did a little walking tour of the entire Atlantic Highlands town, and he just took me around and kind of sort of gave me a play-by-play.
Yeah.
And in my own free time, I would just kind of go hang out at the spots that I knew I was going to film at, and would just kind of get a feel for everything and try to imagine what it was really like for him back in the day. And yeah, it was just really cool being able to film in the movie theater that he now owns, but that's where he went and saw movies. It's like just a crazy thing that doesn't is pretty rare.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even imagine. What about the rest of you? Did anything stand out from the, production experience that maybe Kevin showed you around or anything like that?
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about this movie, as you said, is it's also sort of based on him and his friends and real life people. So one of the blessings of this movie is we got to meet the people we were loosely portraying.
Oh, nice.
Uh, and so while that was not necessarily landmarks, they were in their own right landmarks of people. And so getting to feel them out, see their energy, and also give this gift of recreating versions of them was really, really cool. And I think a really rare opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, your performances were wonderful. So
Thank
yeah, it
you.
was awesome. Um, anyone else or I can I was also going to ask, besides the 4:30 movie, of course, were you guys fans of Kevin Smith's work beforehand? And if so, do you have a favorite movie of his that something that's really stood out from his endless filmography from over the years?
Yeah, I was a fan of him. I think my personal favorite film of his was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Uh, that's just really that was my cup of tea. But as a kid, the stuff that came out, Zach and Miri Make a Porno, that was more like what he was doing at the time when I was, a teen, getting into comedy films and stuff like that.
Right.
So that one obviously stood out to me that I liked, and I love Jersey Girl too.
Oh, yeah.
To me that one that one's got a lot of heart to me.
Of course.
I gave you
Anyone?
three. I gave you three. Hopefully, Kevin, if you're watching, I think that
Yeah, let's do it. What about anyone else? Anyone have a favorite movie that
I think for me, I'd have to say Chasing Amy. And
oh,
that
yeah.
was a film that I watched a lot just before we started filming because that's kind of the approach stylistically, how he was trying to capture the 4:30 movie with a lot of more wider, medium type shots where the scenes really play out and it's kind of more performance based and the tone was more in that realm rather than some of his broader comedies. So for me, Chasing Amy was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I remember I saw that movie as a kid, and then my dad got super pissed when he found out that I saw it. So he's just it's like, wait, you saw that movie? That movie is way too inappropriate for you. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. So
no such thing.
yeah. But cool, yeah. And also, I mean, is there something, in working with Kevin Smith, is there something you learned about him or something that maybe the average movie buff may not know about Kevin that you'd like to share? Like, oh, you'd never know this about him, or I don't know, something that sort of pleasantly surprised you or just you didn't expect.
I don't know if this like totally fits the question, but something that I have never experienced on set before was like Kevin is so warm and welcoming. And there was a joke on set, like the first week, we would just clap all the time. Like after scenes or whenever someone walks on set or and I don't remember if it was Shane or someone on set said it, but they're like, "Yep, this is a Kevin Smith movie. Like your hands are gonna hurt at the end of this." But I just feel like that just sort of embodies like the whole feeling that was on set. Like we were just celebrating all the time because what we're doing is making something that everyone is so passionate about making. But I think that was just so special.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that about his sets, so that's nice to hear.
Whole lot of clapping.
Yeah,
Everybody's getting
Every now
everyone's
and again,
getting
he
a round
turns
of
into like a
applause.
Tony Robbins too.
Really?
Yeah, and just like will give like a motivational speech about it's like it's like I willed this like a year ago I wrote this and now we're making this movie. It's just kind of crazy we can manifest into the world, kids, but and just riffs for a while.
Yeah. And we got to film during the strike because Kevin produces all his own movies. So we also had the rare opportunity of actually getting to work in our industry at a time when the industry was really on pause. So it was a really enthusiastic set to be a part of, filled with so much gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. I mean, that strike. I mean, that was such a must have been such a crazy time for you guys, but
Totally.
even more unique for the four of you because you're like, hey, we got to work.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's good. I remember when my wife found out that Kevin Smith knows a lot about Whitney Houston. She was like so pleasantly surprised.
He's an encyclopedia of a lot of different things.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
catch you by
insane.
surprise, that the depth, the well of knowledge.
Yeah.
Those Jersey boys will surprise you. Those Jersey boys, they'll surprise you.
I don't know how I remember stuff like just
Mhm.
like with smoking weed and everything. I don't get that. That's crazy.
That's funny. And Nicholas, before I forget, I'm a huge fan of Outer Banks. So if you don't mind, I was just going to ask, I know the fourth season's coming out, which a lot of people are excited about. And I was curious if there's anything you can share about the upcoming installment and if there's anything we can expect from Barry that you're able to share.
I don't know. A lot of action, high stakes,
Yeah.
lot of adrenaline.
Come on, give us a spoiler. Give us a snippet.
Well, I will say episode 1, the first 5 minutes, Barry's tragically executed. So that's all I know. And from there, yeah. So I don't even know what happened to the rest of the season. They gave me that. They gave me the first 5 pages and they kabooted me out.
It's like, did you ever watch the show 24? It's like there was like
over at my Uncle Carmine's house, it was sometimes run. You know,
it was like that crazy season where in the first 5 minutes the president gets shot in the head. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's like Outer Banks.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with the plot of the season either. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a separate little B story that it opens up with. So I don't know what that was all about, but
you die and then no one talks about it.
Yeah, as far as I'm
Everyone's like,
concerned,
oh,
there's no mention
Yeah,
of it.
no one addresses it the rest of the show.
Talk about killing me off. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, yes. And I also, this, like I said, this movie's super nostalgic and it's a lot of fun and, laugh out loud moments and, it's going to bring a lot of people back in a good way. And I was curious for you, I mean, doing a movie like this, did it bring you back? I mean, thinking about like your own favorite movie theater experience, like if you had to choose, like what was your favorite movie you've ever seen in theaters? From as a kid or even more recently, is there one that stands out for you? Whoever wants to jump in, just curious.
This is related and unrelated. I grew up, I'm also from New Jersey. I grew up 20 minutes from where we filmed, and I haven't really been back in that area very much as an adult. So for me, getting to film my first leading role in a movie in kind of where I grew up was a real like homecoming, a really nostalgic moment. So that for me really literally brought me back, which was a blessing for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite experience, I guess, one of the most, the one that stuck out the most was when I was just, I don't know how old I was, probably elementary school or whatever. But The Dark Knight,
Oh yeah.
the Chris Nolan's movie, that was very, I mean, that was just an experience to see, very influential. And then, as funny enough, Oppenheimer then came out around the time that we I guess we were all finding out that we were booking.
He was
this movie about
obsessed
the
with
book.
Oppenheimer.
I was obsessed with Oppenheimer, and that was funny enough. I was seeing Oppenheimer when like Kevin, I guess when I got the role and he was texting me, and I felt my phone vibrate, and of course I was like, I'm an Oppenheimer. I'm not going to get my phone out. And then I was like, oh shit, I kind of just left Kevin on read for like fucking 3 hours. He's gonna think I'm ignoring him. So then I was like, oh, sorry, man. I don't know. I was like, I just wanted to let him know I was like a disciplined movie goer. So I was like, I was an Oppenheimer. I'm sorry about that. And then Kevin was like, oh, I hope you're not expecting that on this next set. I think he said, I'm Otherheimer. I'm the Otherheimer. I'm the other guy. So, but yeah.
That's funny. What about Austin, Siena? Anything come to mind you'd like to share?
My back home actually during COVID, I'm from Hawaii and our theater, the island that I grew up on, shut down. So like it's been a while since we like if we want to see a movie, we like fly to another island.
Oh, jeez.
We have like a tiny little theater and I think it's still very it reminds me of Smog Castle in a way, even though Smog Castle is a lot more grand, but just like that intimate small town feeling theater. So spending a summer in Kevin's theater it was homey. It was nice to it was refreshing.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome.
Yeah, for me is probably sneaking into see Forgetting Sarah Marshall
Nice.
for the first time. That was pretty cool.
He's consistent. At least he's consistent. We love that.
I love Nicholas Stoller. What do you want me to say?
That's great. That's great. Well, cool. I think The Dark Knight was one of my favorites too.
Hell yeah.
I had to see it in the morning in Brooklyn, New York, because yeah, all the night screenings.
You didn't even check that out, man. Come on, man. I'm doing that for you.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Oh, Nick, you got to do your Beatles impression.
I mean, I've been fighting it since I
You
saw
have
it. I
to.
was like, I was gonna
on
open
set,
over the.
we would do Nick would go crazy doing just Beatles things because I think the Disney documentary came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the
John
Peter
said,
Jackson and just no, because you don't. I mean, he never wanted to work. We was trying to work, and I'd say, John, come on, get in with work, and one, but Ringo would come in and say this and say that. Austin would never work. It's been a while.
No, it's pretty good. It was pretty good.
That's
Pretty
cool.
good.
Yeah. I love the poster though. Dark Knight's great. I'm excited to see the new Joker. We'll see.
Yes, me too.
All
Well,
right,
cool.
that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, Will.
All right. Well, thank you.
Already?
Everyone. Yeah, it was nice to meet you and congrats again on the movie.
Thanks so
Thanks,
much, man.
Will.
All right. Thanks. Take care.